Welcome to a special guest edition of the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
There was a little bit of a hesitation there. Did you forget who I am?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's okay, I forget who I am all the time.
I'm certainly not running on vapors.
I
I am bright, I am shiny, I am attentive, which is great because we have a patron who is sponsoring us today to come on the show. Welcome back to the BumbleKast, Ink Pants.
Thank you, Ian. This is the second time you've called me a special guest, and this is the second time I'm going to call you a big liar.
No.
Well, too
special.
bad. You're going to be special in our hearts
Aww.
forever and always.
That's all that matters.
It's true.
Now, if folks did not hear your last appearance, tell the kind people at home just who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a human being, and I draw Sonic, so probably pretty relatable in that regard to a lot of you. I have been in the games industry as a tester for 12 years. I love video games. I love Sonic. I love interacting with the community. Me on Twitter under Ink Pants, and really that's really it. I love to draw. I draw all the time. Recently been getting into coloring, just to kind of boost my skills a little bit, and to draw stuff that's a bit more exciting. And I love to talk about anything related to Sonic. Really, that's pretty much it.
Well, you are in the right place. So, it is your special occasion, sir. Do you want to lead the discussion or what?
I mean, yeah, mostly we're just here to just talk about what we've got coming up this year and a little bit about last year. And I know this is, I know it's funny because it's you. I'm sure this is something that you do every day anyway, and you already know everything that's coming up. But I figured it might be a fun topic to just kind of just like chill and get excited. I mean, last year I remember on my last time here, I remember saying to you like, "Wow. It's a busy time in the Sonic universe. There's a lot of fan projects going on. We've got Sonic's 30th anniversary, and then the end of the year happened, and I just got blown out the fucking door. Just it's like, how can things get any better? Oh, they did. My wife and I were watching the I think it was the Game Awards, I forget. It was the Sonic 2 movie trailer, and we had my wife's a big Sonic fan just like me, and we'd been gearing up for the trailer just like a lot of people, and I honestly didn't know what to expect. I knew it was gonna be cool. I knew it was gonna be fun. They clearly stuck the landing on the first film, so I had high hopes. But nothing in that trailer really kind of was what I had pictured, and I am so happy for that because it was such a great surprise to see all the stuff that they've packed into this. This is clearly a film made by people who love Sonic, and I am so excited to see it in the movies. It was so I think I saw the first one 3 times, and I'm going to see this one twice as much. I can tell you that right now.
Man, I know it's been said 100 times, but that Knuckles reveal.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so perfect.
Transcendent.
It's good. Yep. It's good to have evil Knuckles back, evil-ish,
No, they've got his
villain.
character down great. That's how I always picture Knuckles. I'm not the sort of person who has one idea of Sonic or one idea of Knuckles. I like them all. But I do have kind of my favorites, that have always stuck with me the most. And this Knuckles kind of gets that core personality of a very protective, slightly naive character. Just from what I can tell from, gets me excited.
Yeah. Yep. It's definitely
that and just
great.
One hand palming a spin dash.
Yes. So much power. This guy's got something behind him. He's got some strength there.
And I like that the design finds that happy medium between classic Knuckles and Boom Knuckles.
Oh yeah, no, they've got his.
Where the mentality of the Bruiser has to be a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
But Boom went so far to the extreme that it didn't really feel like Knuckles anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas your general audience isn't going to necessarily see, standard Knuckles, who's about the same build as Sonic, more or less. They're not going to understand it necessarily. the physical strength versus just Sonic goes fast. So
Mm-hmm.
having that just a
Yep.
little bit broader, 725% more manly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, okay. That's good. That is perfect. Just gimme straight into the eyeballs.
And I love Sonic Boom, the TV show. I thought it was an absolute riot.
Sure.
And for what it is, that Knuckles is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's not the Knuckles I think that a lot of people want from that character. And this movie seems to kind of like, from what I can tell, it looks like it's balancing that personality. Because Knuckles isn't, I don't think he's the smartest, tech in the box, but he's also not dumb. And I think that this movie is going to kind of like give us that kind of like this guy knows his stuff, he knows what he's doing, but at the same time he's a little misled. And that's what I kind of really want to see. Again, it's what I'm extrapolating from the trailer. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I get. And that alone has me hooked on him.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right about the design. Like, it's funny how we went from the very first Sonic trailer back in the day to they've now got the design down pat, and they're nailing it every time.
Yeah, this is they weren't if they had stuck with the original design, we would not be getting a second movie.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nope. It would have been a repeat of the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Okay. That movie's underrated. I love that movie.
I love that. I love that movie.
It's a fun film, but you're not wrong.
I love that movie, but no, I mean, obviously, it was not. They were never going to get a sequel out of it.
No, definitely.
Even though they set it up for one, it was never going to happen. But I mean, I love that movie too. Don't get me wrong.
It's a film, and it takes more chances than a lot of few game movies. It's not just like the Mario Brothers come to New York from another dimension and hang out. These guys are actually spending a lot of time in this like fantastical sci-fi world, and there's a lot of practical effects and stuff like that. It's fun.
It's a really visually unique looking movie.
Yeah, it really is.
With all the set design and special effects being done by the same guy who worked on Blade Runner, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But you're not wrong. It is a terrible Mario Brothers movie.
It's a bad Super Mario movie, yes, but it's just a fun adventure movie,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it doesn't do bad. But it would have been similar for the Sonic movie. I feel like the first one would have been like a fun adventure movie, but it's just that design was just no,
no good.
Do not want.
Yeah, I don't typically watch a lot of reaction videos, but I watched reaction videos for the Sonic 2 release, and it was just, I don't know, it's just pure joy. Like, the thing that I always seek out from any fandom, particularly the Sonic one, is just the excitement, the happiness of this kind of stuff that brings people, and just that trailer brought so much joy to people. Like, that was a good day. That was a really good day, I think, for a lot of people. It was real good to see. But yeah, we had that, and that was on the heels of the symphony, which was phenomenal. I don't know if Katie listens to this, but if she does, thank you to you and your team, because you knocked that out of the park during a pandemic. That was an incredible concert. That was just so much fun. Like, I remember just everybody, myself included, just belting out the lyrics over Twitter to every song that came on, and it was so good. It's like, that's why I'm in this fandom, for the moments like that.
Yeah, that was one of the best things.
It was so good. So good.
Yep. Absolutely. And I'm glad they gave so much love to so many different versions of Sonic, and some of the more obscure stuff too. Oh,
I heard Bridge Zone. That's my favorite song in the whole Sonic library is Bridge Zone. There's just something about it that just I played that zone a lot as a kid. The music just seemed to stick with me, and to hear that in orchestra version, and then followed by Underground Zone of all things.
Yeah, to do
the Minecart Sonic. That was just all right. I'm done. I can just tap out. I'm happy.
When they were putting together I don't really want to call it a track list, because that doesn't seem to really fit a symphony, but the musical selections.
Sure.
There were some standards, like you have to do these.
Yeah,
yes.
It's the symphony. It's Sonic. You have to.
You start with
But it was a question of like, what are some deep cuts? What are some tracks that are good, but only really Sonic fans are going to think of them and go, oh, that would have been nice if they had done, but whatever. And it's like, what about these? And it was like, and then to see people just lose their minds over it.
Yeah.
What about all the Game Gear tracks? All the Game Gear.
I am so happy for that. Yeah, there's a lot of great remixes on YouTube by people, and I will still stand to this day that some of the best Sonic content is that generated by fans, because they love the content so much and they pour a lot of passion into it, like the official developers do, but in a way that you can be a little bit more, I guess. You've got more freedom as a fan to just experiment, and there's a lot of great remixes of the classic stuff. But to hear that official kind of symphony production come out for a Game Gear songs, it's just, oh man, I've waited 30 years for this. This is so good.
To acknowledge some of those deep cuts like that.
Yeah,
was
it's
just,
so nice.
Yeah,
so
and
good.
I was very, very, very pleased with that, because I'm a big video game music nerd, so to have it be
I would never have noticed, Kyle.
Yeah, I know, right? So to have it be yes, here's all the standards, here's what you expect, and then here's all the other stuff too that only freaking nerds out there are gonna know.
Did either of you two have a particular favorite?
Oh, I mean, I love the Game Gear medley. That's I'm right there.
I mean, it's kind of a cop-out to say the symphony, but
you're not wrong.
I do remember thinking way back when I was a wee lad that the original Eggman boss theme would just sound so intimidating and almost like the Star Wars Imperial March if you put it to a proper orchestra.
Yeah,
and then they do, and I was vindicated, and that's good stuff.
Yep. Same goes for Final Zone, which is kind of similar to the boss theme, but
Yeah.
And then the final boss Death Egg robot fight from Sonic 2 also. Chef's kiss, perfect for that.
Yeah, I've never really figured out 30 years of this, and I've never really figured out what's my favorite, Robotnik tune. It's just they're all so good in their own way. I think I'm probably partial to Sonic 3 and Knuckles' different tracks, but then again, 2 is it's ridiculously good. I don't know, they're all great.
He gets the best themes, man.
It really does. It really does.
Yep. Just like Bowser. Just like Bowser, to be fair.
This is true. I'm not as familiar with Mario music, but I've heard some tunes, and they're pretty iconic.
I mean, for Bowser, it's almost always freaking metal, shredding guitars. Yeah, it's perfect. I love it.
Yep. Then we got that bonus Green Hill lyric song from I think Dreams Come True, which was just I could listen to that on repeat. Such a great song.
Yep. It was good. I appreciate that. So
yeah, and then but that was just that was just last year, right? And then it's we've got all these great fan productions coming out. You have Emmy's Sonic and Tails R, which was really, really fun. And just yesterday I watched the Sonic Adventure 2 music video that a bunch of fans put out. It's absolutely ridiculously good. I don't know if you've seen it. It's
no, I haven't seen it.
It's on it's on Twitter. It's like a Sonic Adventure 2 reimagined. I think it's like an 11-minute. I think it's 11 minutes. It's like just like a music video that's just basically just like this big love letter to Sonic Adventure 2. It's really good. You should check it out. I think it came out yesterday.
Cool.
I think Emmy's in there somewhere as Tails. But yeah, no, there's just so much stuff coming out. And then this year we've got Prime and the game and the movie, and it's just, I don't know, it's such a good time.
Yep. We got Frontiers coming out. That one of us cannot talk about at all, but the other two of us can talk about it all the time.
What's funny is that I think last year, actually no, it was on my last chat here. I remember saying specifically, because I work in the games industry, and I remember Ian asking me, as somebody in the games industry, what would I want from Sonic, and I remember saying something along the lines of a competent story and consistent character. And I also asked Ian, why aren't you working on the games yet? And I am so happy to be eating my words now, because
it's a good thing we don't have video for this show, because I have no poker face.
Yeah.
Our last episode with you guys would have been talking about it, and I would have been sitting here with the biggest strained look of just don't say anything.
Yeah, I assumed as much. Yeah. But no, I know you can't say anything. I know what, and I've had to sign NDAs myself, so I know you can't say anything. But I just wanted to say congratulations, Ian. There's honestly, in my opinion, my humble opinion, there's nobody better, I think, lined up for this than you, and I'm very excited to see where you take it. So,
I appreciate that.
Good work. Clearly, it was me wishing this into being, and not your years of hard work and proven accomplishments.
I really am looking forward to it. I also am looking forward to it because this is fine. This is the thing. This is what it's all been working up towards. Mm-hmm. So, yep, it's gonna be.
I'm excited,
it's gonna be exciting.
It's like I'm trying to think. Has Sonic ever really had kind of like a year like this where we've got like a game, a TV show, the comics are going from strength to strength, a sequel movie, and hot on the heels of his of his 30th anniversary. I can't really think of a time that Sonic's had this much going on in like a single year.
Maybe the anniversary with Mania, sorta. I mean, that had its ups and downs, though, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Since early on, we had Adventures of and Sad AM and the comics and the games. Granted, that's when the series just began, but
yeah,
it was a good, strong start.
Oh, absolutely. That was kind of like over a few years. This is just like, I feel like just 1 year alone, we've got like so much happening out. But yeah, and I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I live for. I remember when the pandemic, I kind of touched on this a little bit last time, but when the pandemic started, and I was at Sucker Punch at the time, and we all got the word that we're going to be working at home for the foreseeable future, and grabbing my PC and all my work equipment, taking it home, and I realized that I'm going to be stuck at home for a long time, and I need something a little bit extra in my life to kind of like keep my spirits up. I'm not going to be out. I'm not going to be with friends, so I need to invest in something. And it had been Sonic was my life. I grew up with Sonic 1, Sonic 2, all the classic Mega Drive games. Grew up with Saturn, read Archie comics, and then at some point just career took over, life took over, and I kind of just put Sonic aside for the time being for a short 10 years. And I just in the movie had been blown away by it and was excited about Sonic again. I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time to get back in. Let's see what's going on in the Sonic's world. And I've lost my train of thought. Basically just honestly, I think that's about it. That's as far as my brain is willing to go right now. But no, it was getting back into Sonic was kind of just like the chance to just like lose myself in something fun and not think about the world, outside. And 2 years later, I've met so many new friends, been involved in collaborative projects with people, had a chance to talk with you fine people twice now, and drawn more, I think, in the past 2 years than I have drawn probably in my entire life. So I don't know, man. It's just been great.
That's awesome. What are you working on, Mr. Pants?
In terms of like my artwork and stuff like that.
What do you got coming in the pipe for art? What's going on?
Couple of different projects. I am kind of like looking forward to Prime and the movie because I think that's got a lot of ideas, particularly with fans as well, like big collaborative projects. But for myself, I want to kind of see a little bit more, and then at some point I'll start working on some stuff that revolves around there. But for now, I actually started watching the OVA again. It had been a few years, so I dug it out. Watched it a couple of times, and actually might do a couple of OVA projects. I have never drawn a Metal Robotnik or a city of any kind of scale, and I don't know. I want to kind of get like this big project started where I started doing some redraws from that. I do have a lot more IDW stuff lined up because I took a sidestep to work on some classic game art. And I really want to kind of start generating some some new IDW style stuff, mostly just because I love the character designs and I haven't really played around with them very much. So it's be good practice to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just focusing on color work right now. it's when I first, it's weird because a couple of years ago, I never even tried doing color Sonic art because I'm colorblind, and I always saw that as just I can't color. But I saw a lot of art that I really admired from other Sonic fans, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to give it a shot. And 2 years later, and a lot of hard work and hard practice, I'm finally at a point where I feel like, no, this is what I like doing. So just keep doing more of that.
Are you like red-green colorblind, or are you like full colorblind?
I am red-green colorblind. So if you put like blue and purple together, I'm not going to tell the difference. Same with red and green. Mm-hmm. And even separate, like I can't tell you what shade they are. I know that this is possibly red. This is possibly blue. Which is probably why I like Sonic so much, because all the characters are so vibrantly colored and easy to tell.
Yes.
But it does make it very difficult to shade, and it's something that I've had to kind of like really kind of like find, figure out a process to get it to work, and I think I'm getting there. I've been heavily inspired by, Matt Herms and Reggie Graham. With their colors are so vibrant, and they're done in a way that's. I've been kind of like looking at how they color, and I've done some commissions with them where I've had them color my stuff in the past, and they've given me their Photoshop files, and I've kind of been able to look at them and see how they break their colors down, and that's actually helped me tremendously. And I'm starting to build like a little library at home of colors that I can kind of like go to for. I know this is a blue that is used on Sonic, and this is Sally's hair or an Amy's fur color, that kind of stuff, and it's like that's what I kind of use all the time. But I've also recently started kind of like understanding that I don't necessarily there's no rule to this. I don't have to draw color Sonic the same blue as everybody else, and it's never going to be because I can't see that shade of blue. Not really. I can see a blue, but I don't know if it's the same blue that everyone else sees, and that's okay. I used to let that kind of stop me, but nowadays it's like, who cares? It's my art. It's how I see the world. It's how I see Sonic, in a way that makes my artwork. It makes it mine. It makes it that little bit more unique because it's just how I see the characters, and that's just how I paint them. So,
you kind of have to make. I'm sure you have to make a lot of use of the color picker tool in a lot of things. So.
Now, I don't know
good thing we have
how
that.
viable it is in terms of like long-term use or for your artwork, but have you ever looked into the colorblind corrective glasses?
I have. People actually bring those up quite a bit.
Good.
I haven't looked at them recently. I do remember them pricey in the day, but those are something would be kind of cool. I would definitely like to at least try them just to see how they work, but. I'm making it work for now. So far, people have been telling me that my colors are, quote, good, end quote. So it's like, okay, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I would have never known looking at your stuff. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know how you do what you do, to be perfectly honest, but...
here's a secret. I don't either.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think anybody does, and I don't think anybody knows what they're doing.
That's my secret, Cap. I have no secret.
Yeah. Now, I've over the past year, especially, I've worked really hard on kind of like kind of training. I've never taken any art classes. I don't do this professionally. Never have. But I've kind of like struggled my way through in finding some processes that work. And they're pretty flexible in that I can, I think, approach a few different color methods by using this. And it seems to work. And I've kind of learned to push myself a little bit more because before my colors were always I can't see different shades of blue. I can't see different shades of red. My wife can look at a color and go, that's fuchsia. Or that's seafoam green. I'm like, I don't know. Could be green, could be red. I don't know. But the way that I work, at least, again, I could never. I can't point at a color and tell you what it is. But the color picker tool tells me that this is what the comics use, and so this is what I'm going to go with. And I just kind of just roll with it, and sometimes it works.
You can just extrapolate from there. It's not. It's not a perfect science. That's the great thing about art.
And like you said, it's your art. It's yours.
Yep.
Art as you see fit.
Because it's an expression. So, and I don't know. It's just people seem to like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But ultimately, more than anything, I like it. It's the art that I like to do, and it's weird because a few years ago I never would have thought that I would be doing this kind of stuff. I didn't. There was a time where I didn't really know what to draw. I would sit down on my canvas and be like, I got nothing. But now it's like I got too many projects. Because again, Sonic is 30 years old, and the content doesn't get boring. It doesn't get like, I don't look at Sonic's from his Mega Drive days and think or I don't look at the Archie comics and think I don't like it anymore. I like it all. It doesn't matter what version of Sonic it is. I'll eat it up, and I can go back to the old games and like pick scenes and like, okay, which is kind of what I'm doing right now with my Mecha Sonic illustration that I just put out. Taking those scenes that I played as a kid over and over and over and over again, and like I can finally realize these in a way that I always wanted to but never could. And I try to put like a cinematic flair to them. I try to imagine the camera in front. It makes it fresh again for me. It makes it new. So I've been going through like a lot of old like some of the old games, going through like screenshots and researching and kind of finding things that like to me were always like the kind of like standout moments in Sonic, and just kind of just like revisiting them, and that's the fun to me. But it could be anything. It could be the movie. It's I just love approaching it from my perspective, from my lens, and if other people enjoy it, that's great.
Yeah,
it's a very healthy mental attitude to your stuff.
Yeah,
it's hard even for me because social media has this tendency to, I think it's called the social media crush. It's where you feel you have to put out content all the time, and you want people to like your stuff. And I think everybody feels that. I feel it from time to time. And there'll be days where I wake up and I think I'm not good enough, or like these people are better than me. But that's the time where it's like you step away. You work on your personal stuff for you, and you remember, no, this is I'm doing this because I love doing this. I'm doing this for me. And if other people enjoy it, then I am very happy. And then you get back into it, and it gets a little bit easier again. But all the best Sonic content I see online comes from people who are just absolutely passionate about this guy and like the world that he lives in. And they're clearly doing this art because it brings them joy. And in turn, it brings other people joy from sharing it, and that's really kind of like why I even do what I do. I would probably still be drawing Sonic to some degree if it was just me, but there is nothing I like more than kind of like doing stuff and sharing it with people. And that Mecha Sonic one especially, I had so many people telling me like either through DMs or direct replies, like that was my favorite moment in the games. That I played that so many times. Like I can hear the music when I see this image. And that makes me feel so good, not because people are praising my art, but because my art is bringing them some degree of nostalgia or joy. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly why I want to keep doing this, because it's the best part of the fandom right there. It's just them celebrating the entirety of Sonic together. It can be very easy in this fandom to be somewhat tribal, or to like, I like X thing, and this is my Sonic, and this is what I like. And that's fine. We all have our likes and interests. I grew up on Saturn. I love Sally Acorn. I love Archie comics. But I also love all the other stuff, and I recognize that, something that I might not like about Sonic, or, have any real attachment to, somebody else, like, their life revolves around that. And that's great. Like, that's what they love. And maybe I'll end up drawing that at some point for them, because that's what they love and that's what they want to see. And damn it, I'm going to have fun drawing it for them. But really, that's kind of it. It's like I see on Twitter when people are fighting about things and squabbling, and it's like it's gonna happen. Every fandom has that. But this community has always been its strongest when it's celebrating together and when it's like sharing like their passions. And if I can facilitate that to some degree with my art, then I'm gonna keep doing that.
Your most recent Sky Sanctuary piece was like, dang, like I can hear this in my head right now. This is exactly it. This is amazing.
I'm very happy. I worked on that until 8 a.m. I think I worked on that for 12 hours straight. I do not recommend that for anybody.
No.
It's an unhealthy way, but I was so just invested in that drawing. I just really wanted to see it realized. I'm pretty proud of it myself.
Yeah, just the way Mechasonic is on top of the emerald powering up, and
It's such a great shot. Such a great scene. That whole game.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, it's fantastic. That didn't happen with Sonic, I know, but you taken some creative liberty and some artistic license, and that's fine. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, when I first started, I was like, it was originally. I actually put up a poll on Twitter, like, what do people want to see? Sonic versus Knuckles, Sonic versus Mechasonic, Knuckles versus Mechasonic. Didn't have the intention of honoring the winner. I just wanted to see what people would say, and then I was going to do my own thing anyway. And then when I sat down to it, I think I actually put up a time lapse, and you can kind of see me at the start, kind of like going back and forth between it being Sonic or Knuckles versus this guy. And I'm like, you know what? Everyone's going to be here. It's going to be big, and we're going to have Sonic and in the background, and we're going to have like Tails and his biplane. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be an homage. This is going to be a celebration of that scene. It doesn't have to be one for one. And again, that comes down to like, this is my particular vision. You get a few people that are like, that's not how it happened, and this is like, I don't care. This is how I envision it. So.
Yep. It does not matter. I think it's actually a better scenario than what we ended up with. So but hey, it's well, you can only play as one at a time, I guess.
Yep.
Oh well.
And I was actually I finally managed to get a PS5 recently, and one of the first things I did was download Sonic Mania. So I have fresh data, and it was actually playing it from the start again was an absolute joy. And I've been kind of like picking through scenes from there that I'd like to do, because I've never done any of the Sonic Mania original levels, and I'd like to kind of like do something for that. So I'm kind of just soaking up ideas, and I don't know. I know this is just me gushing about Sonic and drawing Sonic, but really that's kind of just, to me, the best part of this franchise is just how inspiring it is. And I love just seeing other people talk about Sonic and just kind of diving in there.
Now I'm imagining some press garden goodness, and it's like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually played a lot of that last night. That's kind of on the top of my list. I love Studiopolis, but Press Garden has a really cool aesthetic to it.
Yes, it's a beautiful.
They're
level.
Nice, but Mirage Saloon, man.
I mean, all of them are so good. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to decide, especially with all the Daytona references in Studiopolis. That's right up my freaking alley, man.
Is so good. Yeah, I'm actually kind of I go back to Nintendo in a couple of weeks, and actually this is the first time in 2 years I'll be working in the office, and actually the first time since 2013 since I've actually seen Nintendo again. But I will have less time, unfortunately, to do art, because I will be at the office. I'm going to be commuting. So my goal really for now is to kind of make sure that I manage my time, and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to have less time to do art, so I will make that time. I'm just going to basically set myself some goals, make sure that the evenings I get down and just really kind of like roll up my sleeves and get to it. Same thing with the weekends, and just make sure that I'm still creating, because I need to. Otherwise, my soul dries up and there's not much left.
Are you doing Q&A again, or?
Yep, that's pretty much what I do for my career. So, and Nintendo's always a fun place to work. Obviously, I can't talk about the projects that I work on, but it's always been a blast to work there. Some good people. So
can you tell?
The upside is it's Nintendo. The only downside really is just the time I'm gonna lose for my art.
Can you talk about projects that have already been released? Like what have you worked on before from Nintendo?
Probably from my previous tenure, like a long time ago, I worked on Kirby's Epic Yarn.
That's right. Yeah, you mentioned.
I worked on Ocarina of Time 3D, and a bunch of other projects from that time, but nothing recent. Maybe in a few months I'll be able to, but not right now.
When they actually come out, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do for my day job. So it's fun.
Yeah.
And there's always a Sonic fan to chat. And if they're not, I will make them Sonic fans.
Yeah, there's Sonic fans everywhere. Freaking nerds. Gosh. So many people like Sonic. How could they?
I know.
What did he ever do for? What did he ever do for them?
Well, Sonic was never good.
It's true.
Not since his transition to 3D.
He had a rough transition to 3D.
Oh, God.
God, man. It's funny because Sonic Adventure 1 was like almost universally praised.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going back. It's like, guys, I mean, the roughness started a little bit after the transition, to be fair.
It wasn't even just Sonic, too. Like, if you look back at like video games from that era, a lot of 3D games that era were garbage. And they don't get like the same kind of like comments made about them that Sonic does.
Well,
because I mean, the technology was...
I was just going to say, most of those don't really have the staying power that Sonic has, to be fair.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, Mario's still around, but you don't see Bubsy, really. Like, there was that one small game a few years ago with Bubsy, but no, that game was also not very good. But, like, yeah, you're not going to see, like, all these mascot platformers again anymore, so...
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing where it's like, it kind of, Sonic proves himself. Like, anytime, like, somebody's, not to go too much into this topic, but anytime somebody says it's like Sonic was never good, it's just like, well, why is he still here? 30 years later, people still love this guy. And, you know, you can have different opinions of the games, and sure, they've got, you know, their ups and downs. But as an entity, as an IP, like, Sonic's one of the best. Sorry, it's just the sheer fact that the reason like he's still here is because people love him for different reasons.
I think part of it is also his design. His design is so...
Oh God, yes.
Like,
it's so good.
It's a very simple design, but it's like very elegant. It's easy to draw, so it gets people who want to draw into drawing. And he's just an inspiring, cool character that I think a lot of people look at and are like, yeah, I want to draw this guy. He's cool. He's friendly. He's awesome. He's badass. So
yep, and I can tell them all apart because they're all vibrantly colored.
Yes, yes, that helps too. They have very distinct silhouettes and they are vibrantly colors.
Yep.
Vibrantly colored. Yep. I agree.
They're very malleable designs. I realized that the best way to draw Sonic, like it became easy to draw Sonic when I realized that the best way to do it is to break his bones, because he doesn't have any. When you're drawing, it's just you can't worry too much about kind of like making things realistic in a way. Like Sonic's arms are not going to always look like sometimes like they look like they're coming out of the side of his head, and that's fine. Just whatever looks the most dynamic.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the power behind his design is that he doesn't look wrong. Like you can really kind of like mess with his anatomy a bit with his art, and it always looks great.
Yeah, it's that timeless rubber hose look, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Anyway, sorry, Ian. Go ahead.
No. Just talking about Sonic anatomy and whatnot. Something that kind of blew my mind when it finally clicked is that nobody has necks.
Nope.
Not really. No. Very rarely.
Sally does, but.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the set and cast is
they're different.
Very different anyway, but
yeah, I actually the no Nick thing sometimes throws me off because of the way that their heads and torsos were. But then when you realize the proportions and you figure out how their bodies fit together, it actually often works out for the best, I think.
I just remember looking at SA2 and realizing that Knuckles' head was floating just a little bit above the torso.
Yeah.
I was like, how did I never notice that? Why didn't they model his neck? Wait a minute and look at all the art. And yep.
No neck.
They are snow people.
Yep.
Heads on torsos.
Yeah.
Yep. And it works.
The old bandy straw limbs.
It doesn't look weird.
It's great when you lean into that aesthetic. Which I think was part of that Sonic Adventure era was always so good.
Yeah.
I think that might be part of the reason why it is so easily accessible to the fandom and you have so much variation in it, is that it has a lot of very simple rules to the designs that are just self-evident. You don't necessarily have to be thinking about it, but when you try to emulate it or try to create something that is within that artistic theme, there's just a lot of easily accessible, I don't know what you want to call it, tropes within the art design that just makes it very accessible.
Yeah, I was drawing Sonic in the late 90s as a teenager, and it was just, it wasn't any good. It wasn't good art, but I was able to get like the basics down pretty easily because, like you said, like the designs are very simple. Like I wouldn't say it's easy to draw Sonic. There's kind of like a thing that goes around in the art community occasionally where it's just like Sonic is easy mode, and it's just like, actually no, to draw him well, he's not actually that easy per se. In fact, I would say he's actually quite complex. However, he, like you said, he's accessible. I think that's a really good word for it. You don't have to worry too much about like the kind of anatomy you get with with more furry based designs or with more humanoid characters. There's a lot to him that you need to kind of like figure out, if you want to get better. But yeah, as a teenager or as a little kid, you can kind of circles and like egg shapes and bendy straws, and you get yourself a Sonic. And I was just kind of just like, that's how I got into art at all, was drawing Sonic, like back in the days, like emulating Spaz and his covers for Archie, and like drawing like the game stuff. Just and I think that's one of the reasons why I love him so much, is that he's just. I know that he's a big franchise, like he's an IP, he's a brand, he's a mascot, but he's created so many artists over the years. Like he's a gateway for a lot of people, and sure, a lot of times they'll go off and do other stuff. They'll they'll eventually find either other fandoms or their own original content, which is even better. But you get a lot of people who are just like lifelong Sonic fan artists, and I think that's just fantastic. If that's the thing that you love to do, if it brings you joy to draw Sonic, then keep doing that. Just do it as much as you want. Don't let anybody else tell you, to do otherwise.
That's pretty much the entire comic crew. The crew on the comics, like every single one of them, from the writer to the artists, everybody. It's all fans, and it's awesome.
I mentioned before that the comics going from strength to strength. I was always a big Archie fan. I collected every issue. I loved Spaz and all those artists, but Sonic has never looked in comic form as good as he does with IDW Sonic. Like, he looks fantastic, and again, no slight on the previous artists, aside from the ones who have made the journey from Archie to IDW. But these are clearly people who love the games, understand the character, and it shows. And I think they're also supported by people who have that same mindset. It's very obvious in the art. It's very obvious.
Yep, indeed. It's also in the writing too.
100%.
Yep. So it's made by people who know these characters in and out, who understand them pitch perfectly. So. Yep. I wonder who one of those writers is, though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure about
Evan
that.
Stanley's been in the series for a long time.
I'm not sure about that other guy, though. We got Evan Stanley. She's fantastic, but that other guy, he's questionable. I don't know.
I mean, ever since he destroyed Sonic Underground, he's always been a little iffy.
Yep.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yep. You canceled Sonic Underground. I knew it. Yep. We figured that one
agenda.
out. Yep.
I gotta say, Ian, if this is your agenda, you need to step up the pace a little bit. You've been working on this for a very long time to bring the IP down.
Yeah, if you're trying to just destroy Sonic, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
Well, that's the thing, is I don't want it to be quick. It needs to be slow and painful.
You must
push the knife in.
I must take off every aspect of the fandom. Everyone must suffer.
Someone's going to take this literally and seriously, and then it'll be really screwed. I've already got someone out there floating around a screenshot of the Bumble King forums with your name on someone else's post.
God.
We don't need that. Oh, I mean, this has been going around for a couple of years, but I finally dug up the original post and linked it, and I'm like, look, obviously this is not real.
Using those skills of yours.
Yeah. Going and looking. That's like, guys, come on, seriously.
God.
Screenshots are easy to fake, like super easy. I don't think people realize that. Enough people don't realize that. So yeah, that's been exciting. So oh well,
it's a word for it.
Yeah. Oh well.
God.
Enough fandom drama. Screw the drama.
Nah.
Well, see, Ink is being so positive and wholesome and uplifting. You need to balance it out.
This is true.
So he's being so wholesome,
was the yin
positive,
to
and
my yang.
uplifting, and here I come to pull it all back down to reality. You're welcome. That's how I roll. That's what I do.
I just kind of sit back and watch the trains collide, which has been my career for the past 15 years.
God.
Now, I prefer being positive too, but there's so many different fans of Sonic. They all have different mindsets. They all have different thoughts of what Sonic should be or what Sonic is to them, and then I know a lot of that just clashes. And he's a character who's been around for 30 years. I mean,
I turned 40
had,
this year. It's weird to think how long Sonic has been in my life. Like, and for a lot of younger fans, he's been here their whole lives. It's just I don't know, man. It's just so strange.
Someone in the BumbleKast server earlier was like, "Man, I never even liked those jokes in Sonic Colors when I was a kid." And I'm like, when you were a kid, Sonic Colors for me came out. It was 2010, so it would have been like I'd have been like in my 20s. It's like I wasn't a kid. It's like I can't even think about like what it would have been like if Sonic Colors came out when I was a kid.
I think I was 9 when Sonic 1 came out.
I was 5.
God.
I was in California for game related stuff. Passed it off as, oh, Ian just happens to be in town for the live stream. What a coincidence. And no, there was more going on. But there was a big after work dinner with everybody, and there was somebody who said that they were familiar with my work. They read my early run when they were in high school, and it's like that scene out of Raiders of the Lost Ark, or no. Which one is it with the Holy Grail?
That's the first one, I think, is or no. That's the third one with the Holy Grail.
Ark.
Oh, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Last Crusade.
Thank you. And he drinks from the wrong goblet, and
that's right. He chose poorly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely kind of that feeling.
We all come from somewhere.
Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to imagine like someone who's like a kid reading Ian's run on Archie, and it's like, wow, okay. I was when I was your age, I was reading the original run, the early issues, like starting at issue 13. It's like, oh boy.
My godson is starting on the IDW stuff.
Yeah.
Where's it going to be, when he's an adult,
That's true. And then there's the IDW. The fact IDW is what, 5 years old almost?
Oh, God, shut up.
Yeah, I think so. Anyone who started reading it like 5 years ago, now they're like, they could be like, maybe they started when they were just getting into, just almost ready to go to high school, or they're in middle school. Now they're graduated. It's like,
Kyle, stop, Kyle.
Crazy. It's crazy. The time. Where does it go?
It's only January of 2022. Yep. Stop.
Yep. I know. Time is an illusion. Whatever. It's fine. But it all catches up with us eventually.
It really does. my youngest brother, he's I think he's about 10 years younger than me. He's still in Australia. He has autism, mild autism, so he doesn't really do much besides play video games and watch stuff that captures his attention. And Sonic has been a big part of his life for his entire life, the same as mine. So he's always sending me messages or like the latest thing that he's read, and he only recently picked up IDW, and he's been gushing about it ever since. And he never used to be particularly creative. Like, he didn't really draw or write. He mostly just played video games. But he's been drawing like little drawings of like the IDW cast and sending them to me, and which I think is amazing. It's God, it's just been great just to see him kind of go through. He went through all the old stuff with me. Like we used to share Archie comics together and play a lot of the games. Have our IDW on his own.
Yeah, that's
a new obsession for him. It's so good to see.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I've got. Thank you guys for listening to me gush about nerdy stuff for 40 minutes.
Not a problem. You're always welcome. Before we wrap it up, though, tell people once again where they can find all your glorious work.
Glorious is subjective, but you can find me on Twitter under ink_pants. Pretty much just like if you go there, you'll be able to figure out where I am everywhere else. But that's where I am terminally online. Kind of just like chilling. Drop me a line, say hello. Feel free to ask me our questions and that kind of stuff, and hope to see you there.
Go look at the pretty pictures.
Yeah, you're always more than welcome to. I like meeting new fans.
Do it, because they're very pretty.
Oh, and just before I go, just if you're somebody who brings Sonic brings you joy, and like you find yourself like in a position where people are kind of like making fun of you for it, don't listen to them. Mm-hmm. If Sonic is something that you feel generally like excited about, happy about, and you're not hurting anybody, just don't listen to them. Like, continue to love the things that you love. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a Sally Acorn fan or an Amy fan or a big brain Wes Weasley fan. Just love all of it. It's all fine. It's all good. And you can have your favorites. But if somebody tries to tear you down, if they say the stuff that you enjoy isn't relevant anymore, or the stuff that the modern games are terrible, just don't listen to it. Just people who like the same things as you and share that enthusiasm and soak that up. And just take care of yourselves and be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves.
Yeah, and you may be a big-brained Wes Weasley fan, but the biggest brains are Bivalve fans.
This is true.
Yes.
You're implying that they're not one and the same. Have you ever seen Bivalve and Wes Weasley in the same room at the same time?
I don't know if I've ever seen Bivalve in a room, to be fair.
The comics were silent. It doesn't sound like this, Pally. Do you know how hot it is to smoke underwater?
I got a deal for you.
Wow. Oh, this is a pearl of wisdom. Free of charge, mate. Free of
That's canon now. Sorry.
Yep, it happened.
Straight from Ian.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going to leave off on Ink's extremely positive note and not my bad voice acting. Thank you again for joining us and for supporting the show. We will see you next week for more BumbleKasty goodness. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and take care.
Bye.
See you later. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
He's there. He is.
He's here. He's muted, though. I don't know if that's a me thing or a him thing. Hold on. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yep, I unmuted him. Speak, sir.
Oh, finally. I was so alone.
I'm
so alone.
I wonder. I think it might mute you when you first join in. Then I have to unmute you.
No, I get it. I understand. You don't have to make excuses.
I'm gonna mute you again if you.
No, I'm sorry. I love you, Kyle. Appreciate you.
Finally, someone who understands.
Somebody has
Someone
to.
who understands what's required around here.